Hello everyone and welcome to this Kinetics College class. My name is Grace and I will be your teacher for today. Thank you so much for joining me. It's really great to be here. Today I will be delivering a class for OET Reading. So I hope that everyone finds this useful. We do hear a lot of students telling us that, the reading test is the most difficult part of OET. It's an area that people really struggle with. So I hope to be able to help you with that today. I would love to know where everyone's watching from. So please say hello to me in the comments. Let me know your name and where you're watching from so that I can say hi back. Okay, I can see already that someone is saying hello to me. So hi, Philip, nice to have you here. So we're going to do a little class today for OET Reading. But before we do that, I have something to tell everybody about, something that I think you'll be really interested to hear about, and that is an exciting opportunity to enroll in an English course with us. So I would like to know from everybody watching here today, are you a qualified and experienced nurse looking for your dream healthcare job in the USA? If that's you, type me into the comments. So I can already see we've got Lizzie from the Philippines. Hi, Lizzie. Philip, you're in India. Hello. And we've got Leonlen from UAE. I hope I said your name right. Nice to have everybody here today. So yes, I've got a question for you on the screen here. So are you a qualified, experienced nurse looking for a dream healthcare job in the USA? If that's you, type me into the comments. So lots of people typing me. Okay. Another question for you then. Are you struggling with your English exam preparation? So if that's you, type struggle into the chat box. So comment struggle. Are you currently studying or preparing for an English exam, and are you having problems finding it difficult? Maybe you need a little bit of extra help. If that's you, type struggle. Wow, lots of people I can see. Excellent, very nice. Thanks everyone for joining, and thank you for answering my question there. Yeah, I can see Philip is interested to study and work in the United States. Well, Philip, this is just for you then. Exactly the person who might be interested in what I'm about to tell you about. So the next question, as Philip has already suggested, would you like to successfully prepare for and pass your English exam, move to the USA and get your dream job all for free? If that's you, type please in the comments. So if you are already a nurse and you're struggling with your English exam preparation, you want to move to the USA to live and work as a nurse, type please. Okay, lots of people typing please. Yep, okay, that's great, Lizzie. I can see that you are interested in this. So if this sounds like you, then I would like to introduce you to the free Kinetics USA and Swoosh English Exam Scholarship. So this is for you. If you are a nurse, you want to move to the USA, you'll need to take an English exam, and we can help you with that all for free. So let me explain what's included. So this is a complimentary English exam review course. It has everything you need to prepare for either your IELTS, your OET, or your PTE exam. So we offer free daily classes for reading, writing, listening, and speaking. We have study groups and study partners, so you can write into the group to find yourself a partner to study with. That all happens in our Telegram support group. So we have a special support group where you can write in, you can ask questions, you can chat with your fellow classmates, and you can find a study partner. And of course, we have a Kinetics support specialist to help you along the way. So as I mentioned, this scholarship program is on offer for IELTS, OET, and PTE. So you can choose the exam that you want to study for. And on your review course, you will find video courses and quizzes for reading, listening, writing, and speaking. You will also have access to a writing correction service. So this is where you submit your writing tasks to us. We have a team of expert teachers ready to mark them and grade them and give you some feedback. And then they get returned to you with the teacher's comments. So you can improve your writing with real expert feedback. We also record all of our live classes, so if you're not able to attend the schedule, you can watch those classes back again in your own time. We give you access to mock exams so that you can practice doing the exam under real timed conditions to see how you're doing in your preparation. And of course, there is around-the-clock support from the Swoosh and Kinetics team, so we are all here to support you on the journey. If you need any help, we're here. So you'll see a link in the chat right now. If you're really interested in this, then you can click on that link and sign up today. It's very easy. All you have to do is click on the link, enter your details, and select your course. So remember, you need to select IELTS, OET, or PTE, and then we will get you enrolled and you can start your preparation this week. So we've got a scholarship for everybody, and if you need any support, we will be there with you along the way in that Telegram group, so you don't have to do it alone. So yes, I hope that anyone who's expressed an interest already in the comments will join us soon. Maybe I will see you in a live class this week. So let's get started with the class then. So if you are interested in OET, or you're already studying for OET, today I'm going to help you by focusing on reading part C. So this is the part of the reading test that most people find the most challenging. Obviously, you've got a lot of questions to answer in the time limit. You've got 2 texts to read. Some people do find that overwhelming or challenging in some way, but I am here to help you by looking at some effective strategies. So we'll look at the task requirements, we'll look at some strategies, and then we'll do some practice of Part C questions. So let's get started. Before we jump into it, I'd like to know what your biggest challenge is with OET Reading Part C. So has anyone got any experience with this part of the OET Reading test? And would you like to share in the comments your biggest challenge? So maybe your biggest challenge is the time limit, managing to finish all of the questions on time. Maybe you struggle with vocabulary, not knowing what to do when you see unfamiliar vocabulary. Or maybe your biggest challenge is just being able to select the correct answer. Maybe you find that you're not able to get enough answers correctly when you're doing the test. So I would like to know what your biggest challenge is with OET Reading Part C. Share in the comments. It can be really nice to see other people's struggles and see what they find difficult, and it can help you feel like you're not alone in this preparation. Okay, so into the comments so that everyone can see, what do we all find challenging about OET Reading Part C? So I'm going to give you a quiz. So this quiz is going to ask you questions about OET Reading Part C. If you don't know the answers, that's okay, just guess. I'd like everyone to put their answers into the comments. Don't worry if you don't know, but let's have a look. The first one, how long is reading Part C? So how much time do you have? Does anybody know? Or does anybody want to guess? How much time do you have to complete reading Part C? I'm going to give you a few seconds to answer. So anybody know how long, in how many minutes you get? If you don't know, that's fine, just guess. It's always fine to guess if you don't know. And actually, when you're in reading Part C and you don't know the answer, you should guess. Never leave the answer blank. Okay, Next question. How many questions are there? Okay, I can see some answers coming in for how long is part C. Next one, how many questions are there? Okay, so I can see a couple of answers in the comments here, 20 minutes and 5 minutes. It's a little bit longer than that. Do have a little bit more time. 5 minutes, that would be very challenging. So next, oh, Philip says 50 minutes. You're getting closer, much closer. Good. Thank you for guessing, everybody. Does anyone want to guess about how many questions there are? Okay, no one's got the time yet, but you are getting closer with 50 minutes. How many questions do we think there are in reading part C? I'll give everyone another moment just to put their answers in. Remember, if you don't know, it's okay. Okay. I can see that someone has put the correct answer for how long it is. I'm not going to tell you yet. Okay, how many questions? We've got people saying 30, 15, 22. Let's have a look at the next question. I will reveal the answers at the end, don't worry. The next question is, what will you have to read? Okay. What will you have to read? What type of text are you reading? This one's a little bit more challenging. Okay, I can see a couple of people answering how many questions there are. Okay. So what will you have to read? What type of text do you think you're going to read? Okay, we've got Lynn says a paragraph. Okay, what type of text do we think it will be? Just going to give another moment. Lots of answers coming in for the first two questions. That's great. Okay, well, I'm going to let everybody think about that, and I'm going to move on to the next question. What type of task do you have to complete? So we know we're answering questions. What type of questions? Okay, so what specific type of questions do you answer in reading part C? Do you have to write a short answer? Are they true or false? Are they multiple choice? Okay, some people answering the previous question, what do you read? We've got Jomi is saying 2 articles, reading 2 articles. You're very, very close there, Jomi. Well done. And answering the next question as well, multiple choice questions. Okay, again, I'm not going to reveal the answer. I will do that at the end, but well done, everybody. How many marks are there? Okay, final question. How many marks are there for reading part C? So you can think about how many questions there are. Is it 1 mark per question? Okay, 14 marks. It's a little bit more than that. Okay. So thanks everybody for participating and having a guess at these questions. Okay, we've got someone saying 10 marks, 16 marks, 10 marks. Okay, right. I will not keep you in suspense any longer. I'm going to show you the answers. So for how long is reading part C? You have 45 minutes. Now that is including part B. So it's 45 minutes for part B and part C together. So how many questions are there? There are 12 questions, and well done if you got that correct. Well done if you said 12 or close to 12. Yes, we have 12 questions, 6 questions per text. So what will you have to read? A couple of people got this, so 2 texts of around 800 words. So 2 texts, 6 questions per text. And the type of task is multiple choice questions, so well done if you got that right. You have 4 options, so 4 option multiple choice questions. You have to choose between A, B, C, and D. And how many marks are there? There are 12. So 1 mark per question. So well done, everybody, and thank you for your answers. Hopefully, if you didn't know these, you've now got more of an idea of the format of reading part C. Now we're going to take a look at an example task. So what does this task look like? So here is an example of a multiple choice question. You can see that you've got a sentence that you need to complete and you have 4 options. So some types of question in reading part C, you complete a sentence. So sometimes it's written as a question and sometimes it's written like this. So you're completing a sentence. Those will be the types of questions that you get. So let's have a look. Now, time management can be really tricky, and some people do say that managing their time is the most difficult part of reading part C. So let's break it down and look at how you should be approaching this. So you've got 2 texts, which are about 800 words, and there's 8 questions per text, 16 in total. The recommendation is to spend about 1.5 to 2 minutes per question. Remember that you will have to complete part B as well. Ideally, you'll complete this in about 10 to 15 minutes. So it leaves you with more time for reading part C. So it does depend how quickly you manage to do part B. But I would say if you're spending about 1.5 to 2 minutes per question on part C, that should help you manage your time. So now we're going to go step by step through the method. How should you approach this task? It's really important that you know the strategies to use in order to complete the reading test on time. So the first thing you can do is quickly skim the text. Now, skimming is reading quickly through the text. You're focusing on content words. You're not stopping to try and understand every single word. You're not reading the sentences slowly in detail. You're skimming, so quickly moving your eyes down the page to get an idea of the overall meaning of the text. The reason you do this is because it will help you to get an idea of the gist, and it will help you to understand a bit more what the text is about, which means you'll be able to answer the questions more easily. So how do we skim a text? Now, I realize this text is quite small probably, but we're just focusing on the technique right now. You don't actually need to read it at this point. So skimming. You should read the titles and the topic sentences. So the title, as we can see here, is sleep deprivation. And then the topic sentences are usually the first sentence of each paragraph. The topic sentence gives us an idea of the content or the information in the paragraph. So if you skim these, you'll get an idea of roughly the information each paragraph contains. So that's the first thing you should do. Next, number the paragraphs. The reason for this is that you'll find in the questions that they refer to specific paragraphs. So for example, it might say, in the second paragraph, the writer refers to something. And if you've already numbered the paragraphs, it makes it nice and easy to quickly locate where the information is going to be for that question. The questions do come in order, but it does still help to have those numbers there. And then take it each question at a time. So focus on question number 1 and then move through them like that. So now that we've skim read the text, we've numbered our paragraphs, we're going to go through the question and answer options. And the way that you can do this to make sure you find the right answer is a little bit of analysis. So we're returning to this question here. You can see that the question specifies the paragraph where you'll find the answer, so in the first paragraph. So we know we're looking in the first paragraph, and I've copied the first paragraph down here below. If you would like to have a go at this question, then please feel free, but I'm going to take you through the strategy. So we need to analyze the question or sentence stem. We can do this by looking at the keywords and then read the answer options and take note of differences. Again, we need to be looking at the keywords here. And then we'll go to the paragraph and read it carefully. So when we go to answer the questions, we'll be reading for detail. And it's a good idea to try to eliminate incorrect answers. So don't just focus on finding the correct answer. Sometimes it can help to eliminate the ones that you know are incorrect, and that can make it easier to decide which one is correct. And watch out for distractors. So distractors are when you see maybe words and phrases from answer options that are not correct in the text. They are there to distract you. So that's why it's important to read carefully. So we're going to have a go at completing the task. So first we're going to look at the question. So we know we're looking in the first paragraph, and we can identify the keywords in this question. We've got writer, Eve van Kouter. When the question mentions a name, that can actually be very helpful because it helps you to focus your search. We know that we're looking for Eve van Kouter's words. They'll be in speech marks. So that's the part of the text that we're going to find the answer in. So A, we're going to look at the differences now between each answer option. So we've got a keyword here, explain. So is the writer explaining? We've got main causes, sleep deprivation. Reinforce a view. Okay, that's different to explain about the impact of sleep deprivation. Question some research. Okay, again, that's different to reinforcing a view or explaining. Describe the challenges. So those are the differences between these four answer options. So now we're going to read the paragraph very carefully. You can see that we've already got some answers coming in the chat. That's great. So now complete the task. So I'll give you a moment to do this yourself. So read carefully through this text. I hope it's big enough, everybody. And try to find the correct answer. Is it A, B, C, or D? Make sure that you're thinking about the keywords in the answer options. Don't just select the first option that you come to. Remember, it could be a distractor, so you've got to read for detail to make sure it really does fit with that answer. You can eliminate incorrect answer options. That can also help. So I'll give you a moment to read through and choose A, B, C, or D. Okay, we've got Ahmed is saying D. Does everyone agree, or does anyone have a different idea? What do we think? Just give a few more moments. Okay, got another answer in here saying D. So we can find the quote or the words from Eve van Kouter in the text and then we have to decide, why is the writer using those words? Is the writer explaining, reinforcing a view, questioning research, or describing challenges? Okay, thanks everybody for your answers. Let's take a look now. So if we see down here, there's not a system in the body that's not affected by sleep. Every time we sleep deprive ourselves, things go wrong. So those are the words from Eve van Kouter. And we can see that they are being used to reinforce a view about the impact of sleep deprivation. So if we read back previously in this paragraph, we can see that it mentions emotional distress, cognitive impairments, high blood pressure, obesity. So these are the impacts of sleep deprivation. And then following that, we have this quote. there's not a system in the body that's not affected by sleep. So that is reinforcing the view that the writer has just mentioned about the impact of sleep deprivation. So there we have our answer. Well done. I can see that Glacia got the correct answer. Well done, Glacia. Excellent. You got B. So yes, if you didn't get the answer right, don't worry. It's really quite challenging, but hopefully you can see why the answer here is B. Okay, we're going to move on and have a go at another type of question. So another type of question that you will see in reading part C is a lexical question. Let's have a look and see what that is. So here's a question. In the third paragraph, what idea is emphasized by the phrase "by no means the be-all and end-all"? This is a lexical question. It's asking us to kind of work out the meaning of an underlined phrase in the text. The phrase in this text is "by no means the be-all and end-all." Now, if you already know what the phrase means, that can help you a lot, but we do still need to check the answer options and look at the context of the text to make sure we get it right. So we're going to be using referencing skills here. So the best way to approach this type of question is to locate the phrase in the text. So you can see here in the text it's underlined, and carefully read the sentence that comes before and the sentence containing the phrase, and start to think if you can work out the meaning of that phrase from the context. Then you can go to the answer options and see if any of those fit with what you've already decided. So we've got our phrase, we found it in the text, we read the sentence before and the sentence after, and we start to think, okay, what could this be referencing? What might this mean? Then we go to our answer options, okay? So yes, you will sometimes have a specific phrase that's highlighted in the text, or it might ask you about a pronoun. It might say, what is the writer referring to when they use these, for example? So they'll ask about a pronoun. But in this example, we've got a phrase. So let's go through the answer options now. Look at the keywords. So we've got option A, sleep deprivation, consequences beyond impact, okay, of adenosine levels. I'm sorry, I couldn't quite read that word, everybody. Okay, option B, adenosine levels, significant factor, situations, sleep deprivation. Role of adenosine, response, sleep deprivation, not yet fully understood. And then we've got importance, link, sleep deprivation, adenosine, underestimated. So you can think, okay, do any of these options fit with the idea that I had for the meaning of this phrase? You can eliminate the ones that are definitely incorrect. Another thing you can do is sometimes replace the phrase in the text with one of the answer options and see if it works. Does it make sense in the context? So I'll give everyone a moment now to answer this. What do you think? So what idea is emphasized by the phrase "by no means the be-all and end-all"? So A, B, C, or D. Maybe you've heard this phrase before in another context. You can use that previous lexical knowledge to help you. But I am just going to give everyone a moment. Remember, we only really need to read the last couple of sentences here. So maybe reading from here to the end, or from this line here. Okay, Anna's saying D. Thank you, Anna. What does everyone else think? Okay. So if you want a little bit more time, that's fine. You can pause the video and continue watching in your own time. But I am now going to reveal the answer. So, as I said, we're going to read the final couple of sentences, including the sentence that includes this phrase. You can see here that I've highlighted but there. So we've got here, adenosine may underlie some of the cognitive deficits. So it may, and then if you read on, but they are by no means a be-all and end-all. So we've got like a contrasting idea here. So if you understood that correctly, you will have seen that A was the correct answers. So there are consequences beyond its impact. So by no means the be-all and end-all means that it's not necessarily final. There could be more. So that was quite a tricky question. Don't worry if you didn't get it. It's all about the technique. So the more you practice this strategy, the easier it will become. Now let's just have a quick review then of the skills that we've looked at today. Then we're going to do some practice. So it's important to learn the format of the exam section. Make sure you know how long you've got, how many questions there are, what type of questions they are. And we have done this today for reading part C. Make sure you know how to manage your time. So you know now that it's about 1.5 to 2 minutes per question. If you're spending longer, the question is difficult, just leave it and come back to it at the end. So complete the other ones and then come back to the difficult one. Never leave a question blank, always guess as a last resort. So the first thing that you should do is skim the text for general understanding and number the paragraphs so that you've got an idea of the content of the overall text, but also the content of each individual paragraph. Take note of keywords and qualifying statements. So when you're going through the questions and answer options, underlining the keywords, making sure you understand the differences between the answer options. And analyze the question carefully. What's it asking you to do? And it's a good idea to try and eliminate incorrect answers. Obviously, if you can find the correct answer straight away, that's great. But it is important to make sure you've considered the other options. And if you can eliminate those that are definitely incorrect, it makes it more likely that you'll find the correct answer. And be aware of distractors. So if you see something in the text that looks like an answer because it's maybe used words and phrases from the answer option, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the correct answer. So making sure you're reading the text for detail, that you've really understood it, to make sure you don't get caught out by those. And of course, practice makes perfect. So it is important to practice as much as possible. And you will have plenty of opportunity to practice if you enroll on a course with Swoosh today, the course that I mentioned earlier. We've got mock exams where you can practice your reading. We have live reading classes with a teacher who can help you with more strategies like the ones I gave you today. And of course, we have our reading video course, which you can work through in your own time. Okay, so little question then for everybody here. Are you a qualified and experienced nurse looking for your dream healthcare job in the USA? If that's you, type me into the chat box. So if you are already a nurse and you're looking for that dream healthcare job, type me into the chat box now. Because I have something very exciting to tell you about. Okay, so if you are already thinking that you want to work as a nurse in the USA, type me into the chat box so that I can tell you about something very, very exciting that's coming up. Okay, lots of people typing me. Oh, look, great, that's loads of people. Lots of people typing me into the chat box. Great. Okay, next question. Are you struggling with your English exam preparation? If you are, type struggle into the chat box. Okay, so if you're struggling with your English exam preparation, let me know by typing struggle. Okay. So yeah, lots of people typing me, lots of people struggling with their English exam preparation. Okay. Okay, well, would you like to successfully prepare for and pass your English exam, move to the USA and get your dream job all for free? So if that sounds like you, type please into the chat box. Okay. Lots of people there. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for writing in. Yeah. So people wanting to prepare and pass their English exams. So type please into the chat box if that sounds like you. Great, excellent. Lots of answers coming in. Well done. Okay, well, if you answered please to this, then you're going to be very interested in what I have to share with you. So I would like to tell you a little bit about the free Kinetics and Swoosh English Exam Scholarship. So this is for you if you are looking to move to the USA and work as a nurse, you need to pass your English exam, we can help you. So what's included? You will have a complimentary English exam review course. Okay, so this comes with 3 daily classes. These are for reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So if you particularly struggle with OET reading and you've enjoyed this class today, you can come to the reading class and learn some more tips and strategies for the exam. We have study groups and study partners, which are set up via our Telegram support group. So everyone will be added into a support group just for the exam that you're studying, where you can ask questions, chat with your fellow classmates, and also find a study partner. And of course, in that group as well, there is a Kinetics support specialist to help you along the way. We have a video course and quizzes for all 4 skills, so reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So you can watch those in your own time and complete the quizzes. We have a writing correction service, so this is where you can send us your writing tasks, whether that's for IELTS, OET, or PTE. Our team of teachers is ready to mark them and give them feedback and send them back to you so that you can improve. All of our live classes are recorded and they are uploaded weekly so that you can watch them again, or if you miss a class, you can catch up by watching it in your own time. We have mock exams, so as you get nearer to your exam date, you can start taking mock exams under timed conditions to see how you're doing and the areas that you still need to work on. And of course, there's around-the-clock support from the Swoosh and Kinetics team. So we're always here to help you, to answer your questions and support you on your journey. So if this sounds like something that you'd be interested in, we have a link. You can find it in the comments. All you have to do is click on the link and you can sign up today for your OET, IELTS, or PTE exam preparation course. It's all free. There's so much included there. If you are dedicated and you work through all of the materials and you come to the classes, you will pass your exam with flying colours. So classes just like the one today for OET, IELTS, or PTE. So if everyone would like to click on the link and sign up today. Now, we have a little bit of extra time left today, and I realised that we've worked quite a lot on strategies for the reading test. So if anyone has any questions, we can have about 5 minutes to take some questions from you at home. So these can be questions about OET reading specifically. They can be questions just about the OET test in general. Maybe you saw some strategies in the class today about the reading and you want to ask me. So please feel free to ask me your questions in the comments now, and I will answer some of them in the time that we have left. So just to review, while I'm waiting for questions to come in, just to review what we've talked about today. For the OET Part C, you have 45 minutes. That's for Part B and Part C. You have to answer 12 questions. And you read 2 texts, so 6 texts per question, and you will be doing multiple choice, so 4 answer multiple choice questions. Okay, Now, does anyone have any questions about the strategies that we looked at maybe? Let me just have a look and see. It seems like everyone was getting involved today by answering the questions in the comments. That's great. It's always great to participate. And remember, of course, that if you enjoy live classes like this, to sign up for our preparation course today. The link is in the comments for you right now. But if you have any questions, I'm just going to wait a minute or two to see, because I realize that people often have questions about OET reading. Or maybe if you just want to comment and let me know how you found the strategies today. Were they useful? Did you find anything a bit confusing maybe? Are you going to try those strategies yourself? I do hope that everyone got something out of that today and everyone found it useful. Okay, got a question here about what to do if you don't know the answer. Should you guess? The answer to that question is yes, absolutely. So you won't lose marks for guessing incorrectly. You just wouldn't get a mark, if that makes sense. So yeah, you should never leave an answer blank. I do recommend the time limit that we talked about, so 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes per question. If you're spending more time on a question because it's difficult, just leave it and move on. Answer the rest of the questions first, but make sure you return to it at the end, because you should never leave an answer blank. So you should always guess if you really don't know. That is the beauty of multiple choice questions. Okay, well, I don't see any more questions in the comments. So I just want to thank everybody again for joining me today. I hope that you found that class useful. If you want to sign up for your free IELTS, OET or PTE course, you can do so by clicking on the link that you can see on the screen now or in the comments. Okay, so thanks everybody. Good luck with your OET preparation, and I hope to see you in a class again very, very soon. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.